And the time here in SVG, it is a 7:44, quickly approaching 7:45. And already on the line, we have Mr. Kingsley DeFreitas to provide us with his commentary for this morning. So, Kingsley, morning.
Yeah, more. I paid attention to your little interview with the book writer, and she said it is instantly driven by good marriage life, but I have to buy it to read it to see if it really worth it. So I will go to the book launching to see if it is being encouraged. Yeah. Anyhow. Anything check you over the weekend, Mr. Mel, anything?
I suppose the one thing that I haven't heard is who won the Fisherman of the Year competition. The information.
Slater. A man from Clare Valley. Slater.
Yeah, big up Clare Valley.
A Slater. I
Okay.
don't say Dr. Slater, but a Slater.
Yeah. Big up my people.
What surprised me is that I see the new CEO of the Carnival Development Committee, who I don't support in that position, but I have to respect him, have some changes, extended time here and everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I am currently in a workshop discussing HIV and AIDS. And I wonder if people in this position think about persons who contracted, who are about to, and who may do something, anything like that. Do you have any friend that is HIV positive that you know of?
Not that I know of. Mm-mm.
Yeah, but I have a friend who is HIV positive. She got it from a police officer, and she explained to me how devastating they are because right today she's currently unemployed because of her status. So while we're hearing about discrimination and we shouldn't do that, it's actually happening. But I'm worried about the new time where we're having bars that are open for 24/7. You could imagine a bar open 24/7 on Heritage Square. You could imagine that going on, extended here everywhere. I am wondering if the chairman of the CDC consider young people who we're trying to encourage to get involved in rinsing mass beyond 2025. I think it will have negative impact on the issue for persons who are involved in criminal activities and give them more time. So I don't know what other ingredients they put in when they came to these decisions to have Monday and extended till midnight and Monday this, that. I mean, I know your man is trying to make an impression on the authorities and say he's a go-getter. Making him a good pan man, though, making him a good CDC CEO. So I'm a bit worried about what he's trying to accomplish. Young people have too much free time on their hands, and to put them in a position where they get more free time to entertain themselves would lead from one thing to the other. Because you'll be surprised of the behaviors of young people who are most likely to contract an STD during this time. I mean, we have them who are disciplined, but when alcohol is in, old people celebrate it out, and we do things that we will regret after. I mean, the person and I are very good friends who contract the HIV. We are not related biologically, but we become very close. And when she shared her experience, I asked myself, I hope I will never, well, I don't think I could anymore, find myself in that position where I have been threatened by HIV and persons who carry around that disease. Because you won't meet a woman who tell you, hello, I know your feet, and you like your feet, but I am HIV, so you say if you want to use so, or if you want to go so. It's up to you. But I am hoping that the young people, so the ones who we are dealing with, the workshop is taking place at Maran House. I hope that they will take the information coming from other persons seriously. Yes, you could have fun. You could have clean fun. But it doesn't have to be intimate fun and then you say, well done. If you didn't know, you wouldn't do that. And that is the message I'm trying to send out there, that where we have our young people and the aging to become the next population will take citizenship beyond 2025. You have to remind them that they have a responsibility to be responsible with their life. I mean, they go say, "Oh, it's my life. I go here, there, everywhere." But when you come and you contract age, they become a problem state because you might not be walking. You have to provide medication for you. So my plea this morning is for young people to have fun. Pay attention to your immediate environment and take care of yourself because we can't take care of you. We can advise you through WEFM and activated morning program, but we can't really force you to do it. The only how we could force you is to remind you that you're at risk and you have to pay attention to your own environment. But besides that, we can open your head and ask old people to stay and put the education inside. You have to put it in for your own self. And my apologies yesterday, and I'll have a wonderful day. Talk to all tomorrow, bright and early, okay?
All right, no problem, Kingsley. All right, thank you very much for that one today. All right, so that was Kingsley's commentary for this morning, and he was speaking about young people, Carnival, and activities that can happen during Carnival that can have long-term consequences to our young people. All right, he spoke about the opening of the bars, etc. Right, so we're just going to tie all of it in, and it's interesting, Kingsley's commentary this morning, because just on the weekend, when I made a comment, all right, let's take the call. Hi, Joshua. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, you ladies.
Yolanda is a ring off.
I really need my head tested. Trust me, I need my head tested. The good thing is, well, you see, it's kind of nice that I do that because I keep reminding you guys that when I got married, I forgot her name. So it's etched in my mind now. Anytime I speak with a female, that's the first name that comes out of my mouth.
I would actually how much Yolans you know.
Pardon?
I would have asked her how many Yolans do you know?
Well, there's only one. Her name is unique. Her mom wanted a boy, and her idol was Yul Brynner. She ended up getting a girl, so she called her Yul-Anne, A-N-N-E. I've never come across another Yul-Anne. So that's easy to remember now. I really applaud your guest this morning, and I'm glad I did not miss her because I shouldn't say as usual. I was pulling my hair out this morning, wondering if you guys are going to come on live, but then you did. I would like to revisit something that Kojo said yesterday about your artists. You know, if that's what they call themselves. If they want to extend beyond St. Vincent, they've got to come down. You know, I was surprised the first time I went to Disney. I heard this music. I said, "Wait a minute, that's Beckett." You know, the parade. You guys have been to Disney?
No. Well, I haven't. No.
Well, the parade with hundreds, thousands of folks looking on. What's coming on? One of Beckett's songs. Every event I attend here in Bermuda, every social event, I hear songs by Skinny, Fabulous, and there's another guy, another Vincentian guy. His music, and folks would say, "Oh, those guys are good," and I would respond by saying, "They're Vincentians." And then the next question is, "Do you know them?" I'd say, "No, I don't know them, but I know they're Vincentians." And that's the music I hear in Bermuda. Every social event that I attend, I hear a Vincentian, and I don't hear none of this pushback and wind down and I love rum and a rum pipe in the yard. I don't hear those songs. So, Kojo, I want to thank you for bringing that to the fore. And what a lady name we talk to all the time. Anita, today's my date, but I'll find time for you somewhere along the line. And ladies, thank you very much again for coming on this morning because, I had to settle for listening to other stations.
Well, let's say big up Jules this morning because, yeah, it's Jules who had to sort it out first. So, Jules Williams, good morning to you. Big up.
Yeah, because I called and a lady answered the phone. I didn't recognize her voice.
Joshua,
said,
bye. Joshua, go away. Go away.
I have to big you guys up, because I applaud the positive things. And again, I want to applaud that young lady. You've got 19 years. I got 40. There's a lot of positive people out there. Keep reaching for the stars. Have a great day, ladies.
All right. To you as well, Joshua. Thanks. And this is how we know we have avid listeners because the phone, they're trying to read the weather report and just keep seeing the phone ringing off. So this was Joshua trying to call to let me know that the station was down, right? He couldn't hear us online. All right. All right, so let's head into the topic that Kingsley raised this morning, right? And as I was saying, yesterday in my commentary with regards to South Leeward Carnival, I made mention of the fact that there was so many young persons involved in the activity, right? And I did raise both being surprised at the number of young people, but also speaking about the fact that the young people are who are helping to carry on this activity, this particular activity, which is the rural carnivals and the street jump ups, etc. Right now, I posted a video on WhatsApp. A friend of mine who's involved in law enforcement, he was also asking question, where these children parents, all right? And then he was saying that, what it is that he is so concerned about is that with a lot of them taking part in these type of activities, with the presence of alcohol, which is what Kingsley was also speaking about, is that many of them get drunk. As a result, many of them use drugs. Many of them have unprotected sex. Many of them some of the females get pregnant. Some may even end up with STDs, right? And it's all linking back to what Kingsley said. And, I think this is one of the things that concerns me so much, where young people in particular, you have to know, you know what? It's not even just young people right about now, because during carnival season, it's all the different ages who take part in carnival activities, right? And with the consumption of alcohol, it helps to lower your senses. It helps to lower the type of person who you're going to be, right? Or who you generally are, right? It lowers your morals, it lowers your values for those persons who are not aware or who may have consumed too much. And I think this is one of the things that young people have to be so mindful of and so aware of, because what it is that you get involved with, it can have long-term, lifelong implications. Now, me personally, Kingsley was asking if we knew of anyone who is HIV positive. And as far as I know, I don't know of anyone. Maybe I do know of somebody who has it, who has not disclosed that information. And for me, I would not discriminate against someone on account of this, right? Yes, in certain instances, of course, with sense prevailing, I would be cautious about certain things. But, it's always this whole conversation about carnival activities and, the impact that it's having on our society. And in many regards, while we speak of the positives in terms of the economic benefits, and to me, that is one of the things with the street bars. So just linking a whole heap of things together here, what Kingsley said, right? So what Kingsley made mention of is that, reading this from Asboat News Network, the street bars return to round-the-clock operation for Vincy Mass 2025. So he's saying that the CDC has confirmed that the street bars will return to having round-the-clock activities. And the street bars will now be allowed to operate from 5 p.m., which is an earlier start from the previous 9 p.m. restriction. All right. And Carnival Monday revelers will be allowed to be on the streets until midnight, and Carnival Tuesday until 10 p.m. Now, I did not necessarily look at the street bars being in operation longer as a negative, right? Because I do recognize that there are returning nationals who during the daytime, unless a fete or something is happening, unless they go inside sightseeing or visiting family, there isn't necessarily like places for them to congregate, for them to socialize. And Heritage Square or the street bars allows them for that to happen, right? Mm-hmm. They have places to go, and it also helps to keep the vibrancy of Vincy Mass up. Because one of the things when you pass across Heritage Square during carnival times, you meet upon people you haven't seen for a very long time because they had the time to lime, right? I passing across, but they have the time to lime. Mm-hmm. So I do not necessarily look at it as a negative, but I can see where Kingsley is coming from. I would speak a little further after, but I would just allow Dianna to
I
give her
also,
thoughts.
I also did not look at it as a negative. There is this thing called self-control, and I think that we really need to practice that. Sometimes we just put blame on people for our actions, right? So for the adults, I expect that even though the bars are open 24/7, you ought to know that you're not drinking 24/7, right? The bar is open for anybody to come and buy what they need to buy. You don't have to be there 24/7, right? For the younger people, as it relates to the young people, boy, I'm tired now of talking about the parents and what they are doing or what they're not doing for their children. At the end of the day, they are children. It does not matter what you say, how you nice it up, how you don't nice it up, how you sugarcoat it. They are children. They have parents. If they don't have their biological mommy and daddy, they have guardians. They're supposed to have guardians because they are children. It is up to the parents to take stock of their children. Yes, you can allow your children to go out to certain activities, your teenaged children, rather, the older teenaged children. You can allow them to go out to certain activities, but you need to know what your child is doing. You need to be aware of the company your child is going to keep. You need to make sure that your child is going to be safe. That's up to you. At this point, I don't know what else to say other than parent, right? Parent your children. That is your job. It's not for all the people out in the street to look out for your child and what they're doing, what they're not doing. As much as you talk to people are still going out, they're still doing things, they're still getting involved in whatsoever sort of activities. And I don't know if there are any anyways, but yeah. I think that's it for me.
All right. So just to add a bit more to this particular topic, so I believe that in the case of the street bars being opened longer, that the police presence would also step up, right? So I want to believe that they're going to end up going hand in hand in case anybody gets out of order. One of the other things with regards to alcohol in particular is that I really wish that persons who sell alcohol would actually ask for IDs. I don't know how many of these persons, whenever they see somebody looking young, coming to them, are actually asking for IDs. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Hello, good morning. No, I'm not checking on the topic. I don't know the topic, but I wanted to get Rajiv.
You want to get Rajiv? All right. Call 457-9994.
Okay.
Call around 8:15 because I'm not sure if he's here.
Yeah,
He's here?
I saw him.
Oh, he's here. All right. So 457-9994. All right. Yeah. All right. So one point is asking for IDs, right? Because one of the things with us as Black people, we can't always tell somebody's age by looking at them. All right. So there are some persons who, you might not quite be sure if they reach the age of 18 as yet. Ask for ID. All right. They have to present some sort of ID. One of the other things that I would love to see at this time is that the messaging with regards to HIV, AIDS, other STDs and other STIs, that the messaging is actually stepped up around this time. Again, going back to the whole conversation of being intoxicated, you lose your sense of what you say, your thing is, I forget how the proper phrasing is, but you lose
for alcohol. They say, well, I don't know. Alcohol is a depressant, which means that it slows down the messages traveling between the brain and the body.
That go work, right? So that's slowing down of messaging to your brain and to your body, because that is present. It would be good if we actually get a lot more information being spread, a lot more information being put out there. The kind of messaging that will frighten you, to allow persons to just be a little bit more mindful, a little bit more cautious. And maybe that would also be able to help. All right. So along with parenting, messaging, asking for IDs, and be a friend's keeper. I would never stop happening on this message. Be your friend's keeper. You see your friend has consumed too much. You see your friend has gotten out of hand. Yes, they might cause you to not be able to enjoy yourself that much, but I cannot see Dianna getting wasted and allow Dianna to get wasted, not knowing what could possibly happen to her. You have to look out for each other when you go to these events, all right? Both men and women, because men could also be violated, all right? And other activities could also happen. You could be robbed, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes. Anything else? Last thing?
Let me see. If I have some comments here.
All right, that was... All right, so I actually wanted to, let me just talk on this last part, right? So you could...
Okay, so this person says Rodney was hired as a younger individual who is well-versed with the younger persons and somewhat of an influencer to help revive Carnival. That's what he's been doing.
All right, and I agree with that. I actually had a note of it, and right. So my whole thing is that I know persons keep saying, oh, well, Kingsley said it. He doesn't know, I think what he said, he doesn't know what the young man is trying to prove or something like that. Remember, Kingsley, that he is working with a team of individuals. I don't want to believe that he is taking the upper hand or putting down his foot and saying, well, I am the CEO and what I say is goes. He is working with a team of individuals. All right. So I am strongly believing that it's a team effort that has come to the conclusions or the decisions that they have come to. All right. So Rodney might just be the face or the person who is announcing certain things. I think they had a press conference yesterday, which I have to go back and look for. But yeah, let's not be too hard on Rodney. He's trying, right? And one of the other things that I would also make note of is that whenever he has suggestions, he normally puts it on his Facebook page. When he asks questions, he puts it on his Facebook page, soliciting suggestions from persons or soliciting comments from people. So it's not him taking a high-handed approach. He's actually genuinely trying to get input from as many persons as possible. All right. So Kingsley, try go easy on Rodney, please now.
Let me just add this. Somebody here was just saying these bars, bartenders, promoters, etc. can limit their customers, and if you see them looking like they've overdone it, you don't sell them. But the thing is, that is what is supposed to happen. Mm-hmm. I don't know if the lawmakers and whoever, but a lot of slackness has been going on as it relates to the selling of alcohol, and you're actually not supposed to sell alcohol to persons if you see they are already intoxicated. That is actually, you can be held accountable for that, but I don't think that we take that very seriously here.
All right. And with that, we are heading on out of this segment. Just remember that at 8:15 we will be conducting an interview with Mr. Kevin Little. All right, Mr. Turn us on. I don't want to turn me on, right? So Mr. Turn us on. All right. So that interview is happening at 8:15. So the time here in SVG is 8:07, and our time check came to you with the compliments of New Haven Funeral Home.
Death is a fact.